I am Sheila Mae Guma from the Philippines, currently living in Bukit Indah, Johor, Bahru, Malaysia. I am a mother married to a Malaysian Chinese husband. On January 2019, I was pregnant, and during an ultrasound scan, I was discovered that I had a low-lying placenta. During my 6 months ultrasound, the doctor advised me to be bed rested as my baby's placenta was still in low-lying position, which could cause serious bleeding. I was in such distress that I asked, "Why me, God?" On the 27th week of the pregnancy, my doctor referred me to the head specialist for further investigation, and it was confirmed that my placenta was at the stage 4, which was the most dangerous stage, as the placenta remained stuck to the lower part of my womb. Then, an MRI scan also revealed that my bladder was affected, which could be fatal, while the risk of bleeding and premature birth were extremely high. Consequently, the doctor arranged and planned in advance that an operation was to be performed when I reached the 36 weeks of the pregnancy, which would be on the 25th of August, to deliver my baby, followed by the removal of my uterus. Because of the risk of hemorrhage, it was recommended that we purchase an artery balloon to help reduce the blood flow during the surgery. However, the device was not available at the hospital, and it needed to be specially ordered, and it was going to cost around 1,800 Malaysian ringgit. Furthermore, the anesthesiologist explained that the chance of my survival was only at 50%. I could not accept the situation, and I was completely consumed by fear and worries. At the hospital bed, I kept begging to God. I used to have such big faith in God and believe that He would make all things right so that I could deliver a full-term baby. But now, my faith seemed to be shaken, and it now seemed that things might not go according to my desires. Worst, on the morning of the 4th of August, bleeding in my uterus occurred, and the head specialist decided to do the operation immediately. I was crying and told my husband to look after our children. Only God knew if I win or lose the battle. 6 OB/GYN specialists were present at the ICU, and I told them we still had not ordered an artery balloon. Now that it's emergency, all the previous plans were ruined. Worries and fears keep mounting, and I was so nervous and told God, "Please, I beg you, Lord, work behind the scene. If it is your will, everything will be provided. The impossible will become possible. Let your will be done." Trying hard to get the artery balloon, I heard some negations like there was no stock, while others said it would take 3 days before reach JB. Finally, on the last minute, they found one set available, and that it would be in the hospital in few minutes. They then transferred me to the radiology department for the balloon installation, after which we proceeded to the operating room. While I was lying under the X-ray monitor and ultrasound, the radiologist called my husband to explain everything. My husband asked for the supplier's bank account for the payment, but the doctor said that the balloon was free of charge. I didn't know why it's suddenly free, but wow, God is indeed surprisingly amazing. All was set. The 6 OB/GYN specialists, the urologist team, the endocrinologist, anesthesiologist, and a pediatrician and a nurse were all with me in the operating room. According to the doctor, I was to be under general anesthesia for 3.5 hours. And the first mission was to deliver my baby through a cesarean section. At 2:55 p.m., a miracle baby girl was delivered safely at 32 weeks of gestation, weighing 1.85 kg. The second mission was to remove and detach the placenta from my womb. But sadly, it was stuck to the scar of my previous operation, causing heavy bleeding, and urinary bladder got injured. The surgeons were now fighting for my life. Despite the balloon that had been installed, I still lost 3 liters of blood and was transfused with 4 packs of blood. My surgeon's last choice to save my life was to remove my womb, altogether with the placenta. After the procedure, the urologist took over to repair my bladder. All these were done in 4 hours, but a greater difficulty came when my body didn't respond to life after the procedures. But the head surgeon told the team to keep reviving me because he could feel that I would come back to life. After almost 8 hours of being inside the operating room, I finally came back to life and was sent to the ICU for close monitoring and transfusion of other 2 packs of blood. After fasting and depending on drips for 4 days, I was then transferred to the normal ward. I was surprised and amazed when the head specialist told me that it was my faith that saved me and it's my God that gave back my life. He added, "Do remember us every time you pray, Sheila, that your God will use us to help and save those in critical situations like yours." And my tears fell at the very moment. God was indeed working behind the scene in my situation. Even for me, it seemed impossible, but to God, all things are possible. With God, there is no such thing as emergency. He will indeed arrange everything more than we can think or imagine. In this experience, God has shown me the power of united prayer, trust, faith, hope, and love. He made me become more closer to Him. My hospital stay became my pilgrimage to getting closer to God, for strengthening of my faith and relationship with Him. And now, our family has become more united. I was discharged and had celebrated my 30th birthday at home, while my baby was discharged on her full month. Do remember that our life is a gift from God. Use it to bring glory and honor to Him. When trial strikes us, just think that sometimes God uses our circumstances to perform His miraculous acts. Have faith and trust in the power of prayer. To God be the glory.